Welcome back to our coverage of a very dangerous night now across the Mid-South and parts of the Midwest. We've got multiple tornado warnings to tell you about. Let's dive right in and show you the latest on these warnings. First of all, near Little Rock, we've got a tornado warning that is off to the north right now. That is for Faulkner and Lone Oak and Pulaski counties until 7:30. And cells now moving towards the Cabot area. Going to be coming towards Austin and towards Beebe as well. We did see a more pronounced rotational signature moments ago. It's not quite as pronounced right now, so let's hope that that means there's less of a threat. Then to the north of that, Independence and Jackson and White counties under warning right now. Let's take a look at the velocity data, and indeed a very strong signature showing up near Joy right now, and looks like that's really beginning to wrap up. That is now going to be moving off towards the east-northeast, coming into Pickens in just a couple of minutes, then moving towards Latona in 5 minutes, and then Clay in 8 minutes. So heads up, a possible tornado now coming your way. Then probably the most dangerous storm that we've been watching, then Dunklin and Mississippi as well. Downstream, an observed tag here, considerable threat tag as well. We are looking at an exceptionally strong rotation on the radar. You see that really bright area of orange and blue color. Very, very strong rotation in the low to mid levels of that storm. And that is now moving off towards the east-northeast. So coming into Monette more immediately, just a couple of minutes. You need to get to your safe place right now in Monette, Leachville in 9 minutes, and then moving into Buckeye in 15 minutes. Now I'm going to circle this. Let's see if there's any evidence of debris at this time. Not seeing any evidence of debris. Nonetheless, really, really strong velocity signature there. So please, again, take cover in those areas. I'm going to redraw that one more time as that moves off towards the east-northeast. And let's take a look at the vector here. Actually, I'm going to draw that again just based on what I'm looking at. And it looks like it might be a little bit more to the north. And so looking at that, that's probably moving more towards, pretty much the same areas, but just a little more to the north. Monette, Leachville, and Buckeye, and all of those areas, very, very dangerous storm now coming your way. Now off to the north, we've got a whole line of storms showing rotation now west of St. Louis. So heads up in St. Louis. This is all coming your way. Tornado warning right now in effect for Crawford and Franklin and Gasconade counties. Looking at that little notch there north of Sullivan, that's coming towards Champion City and also towards St. Clair. Then to the north of that, got Franklin and St. Charles and Warren counties under warning. You see where this is relative to St. Louis. So before long, this is going to be getting into the western suburbs of St. Louis, coming towards Marthasville and New Mel as well. Then to the north of that, another warning in effect here. I'm going to move this just a little to the north. That for Lincoln, Pike, and Warren counties. And so that cell coming up towards Troy and Warrenton. So right in there is where we've got a possible tornado. And then to the north of that, yet another warning here near Bowling Green. That cell does look to be weakening at this time. So some better news there. Perhaps we'll see if that trend holds. That's just to the east of Bowling Green and moving towards Stark in Louisiana. Then a very dangerous cell that is now coming up into southern Illinois, Pike County under warning, and then a downstream warning, and that in effect for Cass, Morgan, and Scott counties. Looking at the velocity data here, really, really strong velocity signature right in there. Look at that. I did not see any debris on this when I looked moments ago. We'll check again as that moves off to the northeast. That coming towards Meridosia in 8 minutes, Aaronsville in 18 minutes, and Arcadia in 23 minutes. Let's see if there's any debris showing up right now. I'm not seeing any debris showing up right now, but a really, really strong rotational signature there. And then down into Kentucky we go. Hopkins, McLean, Muhlenberg counties under warning until 8 p.m. And you see the rotation showing up near 69 there and moving off towards the east-northeast. So that'll be moving in towards Earls and Bremen and also South Carolina, Carrollton, I should say, in about 14 minutes. So, Mike, it's just crazy. We must have a dozen tornado warnings in effect right now. There's a lot going on.
Scary stuff to see these threats coming in after dark for sure. A lot of folks are going to be in trouble. Carl, thank you very much for that. We also know that we've got some pretty serious snowy weather happening for us right now. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is going to join us in just a second from Wausau, Wisconsin. But I want to show you the winter storm warnings that are in fact now. including Sioux Falls all the way up through, say, Marquette, Michigan, maybe some areas here where potentially as much as another 8 inches of snow is coming in for us here. You can see some dark banding around Omaha, Minneapolis, around Green Bay as well. These storm lines of these squall lines could be going for the next couple of hours here. Actually, that's a very intense squall line coming through Minneapolis right now where snowfall rates could be 1 to 2 inches per hour for us in that band. It's a pretty cold atmosphere right now, at least the coldest air we've seen so far this year to really sustain the snow for us at this point. Now, Cadillac, we're in the snow right now, although you might at times mix over with a little bit of rain, I think in Mackinac City or in, say, Marquette. These are all locations where you're getting all snow. You're cold enough for that. Around Chicago, more rain than anything else with snow coming in on the very back end. Stay with us for special coverage overnight. Also, existing cable and satellite subscribers, find us on Roku, Fire Stick, and your smart TV.
Every day on the Weather Channel.
Thanks for staying with us. We have continuing coverage of Winter Storm Atticus with a severe weather threat, a snow threat. I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis. We also have storm specialist Carl Parker with us tonight. And be sure to stay with us for our special coverage overnight. You can download our app on your TV. Existing cable and satellite subscribers, you can get the Weather Channel on Roku Fire Stick on your smart TV. You get 24/7 access to the latest alerts, forecast, local radar, live coverage right there. Let's get you caught up on what we know right now with this system. Minnesota State Patrol has reported more than 130 crashes on state roads. More than 200 flights canceled today out of Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. The Minnesota DOT says snowplow drivers will be working around the clock to clear the snow. We'll talk more about the snow threat coming up here in just a little bit. Let's get to the severe weather side of all this. Some imminent threats with tornado warnings really lining up now, Carl Parker. Outside of St. Louis, boy, what's bearing down on St. Louis is very serious.
Yes, we've got a big line of storms all showing some rotation with them, but the most dangerous storm right now is actually in northeastern Arkansas, coming up into parts of Missouri and also into Mississippi. Let's begin with that cell. This cell has had a considerable threat tag for a while. Observed tornado here as well. And then looking at the latest on the storm, it's not quite as clear right now, but notice that little bit of a swirl. I'm going to use a different color here. That little bit of a swirl right in there, that is a debris ball right in there. So that is the tornado that is showing up. That is now just to the west of Leachville. If you're in Leachville, you've got to get to your safe place right this minute. You've got just a matter of moments. This thing is moving northeast about 45 miles per hour. That is a well-developed tornado there that is now just west of Leachville and coming in and right now, right this minute. So let's track this forward and see where that's going to be headed. Moving into Leachville in 1 minute, coming into Leachville in 1 minute, 13 minutes coming into Hornersville, and 17 minutes coming into Clay. I'm going to step this back in time here to see if we've got a pretty good sense of the vector. Actually, I think it's a little more to the north, so I'm going to redraw that. That is now coming into Leachville. So this storm is moving into Leachville right now, and again, that little swirl that is showing up right there, that little swirl, that is the tornado that is showing up. And it's not quite as pronounced of a debris ball as what we saw a couple of scans ago, but it is very, very well developed. Coming into Buckeye in about 5 minutes, and then Hornersville in about 11 minutes. Once again, I'm going to go back, and I think we've got a pretty good sense of the vector right in there. Let's look at the velocity data. Very strong velocity signature. Also now looking at a debris ball. So right in there, that area of green right there, that is a non-meteorological target. So all the red around that, that's rain and might be some hail as well. But that green showing up there is either tree debris or structural debris. Whatever the case, that is a tornado that is now coming into Leachville. So again, please get to your safe place right now. You've got no time at all. It is now coming into Leachville and coming into that Route 108 corridor. Extremely dangerous storm here in northeastern parts of Arkansas. Now let's go back down into the central part of the state. Tornado warning for Lone Oak and Prairie and White counties. And so we're seeing some rotation showing up near Cabot right now and moving off to the east-northeast. That'll be coming towards Beebe as well as towards Garner and Higginson. Then to the north of that, another tornado warning in effect here that for Independence, Jackson, and White counties. Sort of more of a shear line here. So I think perhaps, at least for the time being, a little bit less of a tornado threat there. Then into Washington County. This is the northwest part of the state near Fayetteville. I'm sorry, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to jump back here. Tornado warning for Washington County, and looking at a rotation now near Prairie Grove, and that's going to come up into areas just south of Fayetteville. So moving into Greenland in about 9 minutes, Baldwin in 15 minutes, and Elkins in 19 minutes. Then we'll take you up, and I've got to go back here because there's a new warning near Springfield. They're just popping out left and right. Berry County, Christian, and Stone counties under warning right now, and that is south of Springfield. So we're looking at another potential tornado warning here. Potential tornado here, and that's going to be moving up south of Crane. There's a look at the potential areas that are under threat from that storm. Then, as we move up towards St. Louis, just a big string of storms under warning right now. One of those near Sullivan, and moving off towards the east-northeast, towards St. Clair and towards Moselle. Another one to the north here. This is going to be getting into the western suburbs of St. Louis, Franklin, St. Charles, Warren counties under warning. Another tornado warning to the north of that. Lincoln, Pike, and Warren counties. A downstream warning for Calhoun, Greene, and Jersey counties. Another warning in effect, and that for Lincoln, Pike, and Pike counties. And then another one off to the north here, and that in effect for into Illinois for Pike County. We're going to have much more on this dangerous situation coming up in a few minutes.
Oh, yes, you really can't wait to unwrap.
For coverage of what is a very scary night now across the Mid-South and Midwest, and let's get into some of the radars here and show you where the most dangerous storms are. One of those is in northeast Arkansas, southeast Missouri, getting into northwest Mississippi. Considerable threat tag on this storm. That ball right there is where the tornado is located, and we are also now seeing debris that has just come through Leachville. So that area right there, that is the tornado. That is non-meteorological targets. That could be tree debris, might be structural debris as well. Whatever the case, that is how we know that there's a tornado that has just come through Monette and also come through Leachville. So in those areas, I fear we're going to be hearing about some damage. Let's track that forward and show you where it's headed next. Looks like it's going to be coming towards Rington more immediately. So you've got to get to your safe place. Right now, this is an ongoing tornado. This is not the threat of a tornado. This is a tornado that is occurring right now, and you've got no time in Rington. Please get to your safe place, lowest, most interior room, Hornersville in 6 minutes, and then coming into Clay in about 9 minutes. Extremely dangerous storm now moving to the northeast and moving rapidly, I believe, at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. I also want to show you another dangerous storm that is outside of St. Louis, and this storm is now coming into that 64 corridor. There's a tornado warning in effect here for Franklin, St. Charles, and also St. Louis counties. This is actually very close to the radar, so we're getting a really good look at it. And that swirl right there is where this potential tornado is located, really coming right towards the radar right now, and then moving up into the western and northern suburbs of St. Louis. So that'll be coming into Weldon Spring in 13 minutes, into Chesterfield in 17 minutes, St. Charles in 26 minutes. Let's circle this and see if there's any evidence of debris at this time. And looking at the data for that, there are some hints of some lowered values here. Whether or not that is actually a tornado, I think it's a little bit difficult to say. I'm going to circle that very closely and go back to the velocity data. It's really close, but I don't know if that's conclusive. Nonetheless, dangerous storm now coming up into the northwest side of St. Louis, and we'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Mike, over to you.
There are a lot of different places that could be hit tonight, Carl. We know that Memphis, Tennessee could be one of those locations. Meteorologist Chris Bruin with us tonight. Could be a few different threats here, Chris. We're looking at these individual discrete supercells that are forming right now. We anticipate a squall line to come in later tonight as well.
Yeah, Mike, right now it's business as usual. It's super mild. I mean, so warm. Stepping out of the hotel, I was even shocked as a meteorologist. I mean, we can get warm, yeah, but it was 80 degrees today in Memphis, and that's partly why we are faced with such a high risk for severe storms. We're already seeing the tornadoes kind of off the charts now in Arkansas and Missouri, and that line is about 60 miles to our west. So it's eerily quiet. It's breezy, and it's been that way pretty much all day. We've had the strong southerly winds. That's what's bumped our temperatures up. We've also had plenty of sunshine, but I want to show you the radar, and you can see 77 degrees still at this hour, and the average low is in the low 40s. So hard to imagine how mild it has been. We had a high of 80 degrees today. I want to walk you through the timing. Remember, we are under that tornado watch. That's through 11 p.m. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if that were to be extended, because remember, we got the isolated supercell threat with those cells out ahead of the line then that will work its way from Arkansas through Tennessee overnight and into tomorrow morning. So we got a long way to go. It's quiet until it won't be. So make sure before you go to bed, make sure you have those plans in place, talk to the family, and have a way to get those alerts and have your phone on so you can hear that, Mike. That's something to be reminded of. Nocturnal tornadoes. I saw a photo of those twin tornadoes in Arkansas, and it is terrifying.
It's really scary what could play out tonight and why a lot of us are sleeping, right? So this is why we have to be armed with the knowledge right now and be prepared to take action immediately overnight. Chris, thank you so much for that. Stay safe out there. We'll check back in with you. Want to get back to the radar and show you all the areas that are being threatened right now. Countless severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings right now stretching from Arkansas to Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, and Kentucky right now. Big line coming into St. Louis. But want to focus on what's going down here just outside of Little Rock center of your screen. Tornado warnings that line up towards Searcy here. Lonoke, Prairie, White counties with a tornado warning extended up towards Searcy here. The storms are coming right in for you at this point. You need to be taking shelter as quickly as you can. Bald Knot, Beebe, Searcy, these are places that could be threatened. Up in Independence, Jackson, and White counties, tornado warning for us. Same thing, got to take shelter in Bradford and in Clay. Let's head back up toward the Branson area with the tornado warning issued for us in Christian, Stone, and Taney counties right now. Radar indicated tornado in Branson. Take cover right now. Get to your safe spot. If that's your basement, good place to be. If you don't have a basement, that's okay. The ground level of your home can still offer you a lot of protection. Get to an interior room in your home, huddle there. Get down low, stay away from windows. You can see we've got a little bit of rotation just there to the west of Branson and about to move into town right now. Storms are south and north of I-44 as we speak, but again, Christian and Stone counties under a tornado warning. The storms up around Springfield are a severe thunderstorm warning, but I want to get to the tornado warnings that have now moved into St. Louis. Start south, we'll go north here. Surround Sullivan, including in Franklin County, with a tornado warning here. That storm about to come over I-44. Really intense line coming right into St. Charles and about to hit the west side of St. Louis right now. So St. Charles and Warren counties also under tornado warnings. That goes until 8 o'clock tonight. So in Washington and Bowles, in Wentzville. There it is, Franklin, St. Charles, St. Louis counties all under tornado warnings. That does include west side of St. Louis. You've got a signature right back here that's about to go right over the radar, by the way. So there could actually be a period of time where the storm is so close to the radar, it's not going to actually pick it up. It's going to actually maybe duck underneath the radar in the cone of silence. But ultimately, a place like St. Charles, 8:18, the arrival time. In Alton, around 8:54. A lot of different areas throughout the St. Charles and St. Louis metro area under threat tonight.